Okay.
So welcome everyone. We just wanted to get everybody together again after last Sunday's Zoom call with all the potential Diamond Club participants. Did you all have loads and loads of people come back to you during the week with lots of messages and lots of questions and lots of interest, hopefully, because that's what we've had. We've had a hell of a lot of messages. We've actually had a few face-to-face one-on-ones with people and their partners even to, I guess, clarify what Diamond Club means and what it would be like, and there's some partner support for it, which is wonderful. What we wanted to talk to you guys about, now we've got a visitor, I guess, we've got Joe as well here, but we're more than happy to have anybody hear how we approach Diamond Club and what we think our role as sponsors is and what they should look like. We, to give you some background for it, the very first year we did Diamond Club as a sponsor was 2 years ago, and we had 6 of our team participate, and they finished in 6 of the top 7 spots nationally. And then last year we had about 20, and they had about 50% of the top 20 places, and of the 20 there was just 3 that didn't finish, so didn't successfully complete it for some very valid reasons really. But that said, what we wanted to put this out for is to try and help people understand what we've done to try and get people through it and be able to finish it successfully, because that's what it's all about. So I've been very, very out there and verbose in trying to encourage people to take on Diamond Club this year, because when you look at it, you've got the company that you work for putting up a load of incentives which would normally be outside of what would be reasonable to expect a premier or a silver or a gold to spend on a 4-month campaign of enrolment, as well as a travel reimbursement scheme which helps people to be able to afford to go to these places and expand areas that they thought, oh, I'd love to go there and do classes, I'd love to go here and do classes, I know people over there but I can't really afford to do it, maybe they don't have the partner support for it. So this is a great opportunity to utilise, I guess, the assets or the abundance that doTERRA and the uplines can bring to the party. We also had some people during Diamond Club the first year round and the second year round ran into roadblocks along the way. For some, it was that their house looked like a rubbish tip and they weren't keeping up with the cleaning, and for others it was partner support had dropped off significantly halfway through, and had even been suggested that maybe they stop, and why don't they just give it up, and things like that. So what we looked at was what could we do as their sponsors to help them see the light at the end of the tunnel and see that they could complete this. So this isn't something, what I'm about to suggest now, isn't something that we would expect everybody to do, nor would we want to sort of see everybody trying to take advantage of their upline sponsors in this way. But we took the opportunity with someone who was just, it was getting way too chaotic for her, and she just wasn't maybe as planned as she could have been, and she's a single person as well, so managing the house and the kids and keeping it all tidy and those kind of things became really challenging. So about halfway through Diamond Club, this became apparent, and what we did was we hired a cleaner to go there just, I think, once a fortnight, was it? Once a fortnight. So, what's that, in 2 months, 4 times, I guess, which didn't cost us a lot of money, but it was just everything that person needed to realise that we had their back and that we were gonna help stay the course with them to get them through to the end of this. And it made all the difference for them. So that was one example. Another one where the husband was considering, or trying to encourage the partner to quit, was that they just weren't getting time together, and this was a problem. So we just said, look, we'll hire a babysitter for you. You guys go out for a dinner and just have a nice night together and reconnect and those kind of things. So above and beyond the normal things that we're going to talk about tonight, what we'd like for people to, I guess, get their heads around is to really be close with the people that they're sponsoring. So sponsoring in Diamond Club is not just about putting up your share of the travel reimbursement expense. It really is a sustained period of leadership that they need to feel at a greater level for them to be able to successfully complete it. So for us, it looked like regular contact, whether it was private messages. We had a Facebook group created. Tanya Maidmont has created one for this year for all of our team to take part in, which is great. So I'm really happy that she's done that. So we're collectively plugging everybody into that, which is a great space for everybody to just share great stories, be positive, have support, but also the ones that are in your own team that you're sponsoring. It really is great for you to take that time out over the 4-month period to touch base with them every few days. How are you going? You know, what do you need? Do you need help? How are the invites going for the classes? And just, you know, be on top of them, because a lot of the time they don't have anybody to share the ups and downs with so much. And when they have ups, they feel up, so they're okay about it. When they're down, they don't have someone to bounce that off and someone to correct the course for them to get them back positive again quickly. So what we want to do is identify the time that they started to feel a little bit down as quickly to when and as close to when it actually happened as possible, not let it get further and further and further and further out, so that to pick them back up off the floor is such a massive effort for you and for them, that so much time and momentum is lost because we can't afford that during the Diamond Club period. So that's some of the things that we do on a day in, day out basis. You have anything else to add to that?
So the page, back on the page, so we just call it Diamond Club Superstars and then the year. That's a real, as Paul was saying, a real support. It's really beautiful to put inspirational quotes for them, videos that uplift, some songs that uplift them, celebrate all their successes, as well as talking about the challenges. You know, you can set, you know, beautiful things on it, like, you know, if you want to encourage them to get their 18 by the month, what doTERRA do is they give out oils later on. I don't know that that's throughout the whole of it, but I know it certainly happens in the last 2 months, those that achieve their 18 enrolments this month. And what you can do is you can do a focus on their team. So 18 enrolments for their team, their whole tree of love, then, you know, they'll receive a this or a that, whatever it might be from you. So it could be a beautiful aroma touch for their hands or their feet, or a whole aroma touch, or it could be oils or beautiful blends that you make up for them, signature blends from you to them to give them more courage and, you know, determination and focus. So these are really gorgeous. The idea for the page is for them to be able to release what's needed, ask urgent questions. What we also use it for is for all of us to place on that page the upcoming workshops we have. So, of course, while the focus is for them to grow their own tree, they can, as you know, come to any workshops, and as long as they're present, they can place all enrolments that are over 100 PV into their portal, which counts toward their 18. So you could say something like, okay, tonight we have a workshop in Bassendean. Anyone who's able to drop in from Diamond Club, please let me know. It's at 7 o'clock tonight and we have 6 new people coming, you know, something like that. And then someone can say, yep, I'm in, I can drop in, or, you know, whatever it might be. But that gives them, that means that they've also got that option if something happens to their workshop, or they can go to the workshop that they're at plus appear at yours for, you know, 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is. So that, you know, as a sponsor, they need to be present always. Please do not encourage, oh, that's okay, we'll just give you the enrolments anyway. It's cheating. It's not kosher. Their husband, or respectively if it's a gentleman doing it, their wife or their partner is allowed to appear and do that. That was introduced last year, so that's a bonus. So if I was doing Diamond Club and I was doing 2 workshops over this side, Paul could actually go to that one south of the river and he could appear at it, and from all 3 those could go into our portal, new enrolments of 100 PV. So use the page to really rev up momentum. There's also an Australian Diamond Club page, Australia, New Zealand, where the office is running that one, and we can put inspirational stuff there as well. It's great for team energy and momentum. So I would ask you all to post on our Diamond Club Superstars 2017, everyone in our Tree of Love, the one that Tanya set up. We have it set up every single year so that you can all support each other on it. Okay, so so there's a webinar coming up. I'll pull those details up in a second. What I was going to say also, Paul was touching on some of the ways we support with cleaners. I really feel that for a lot of those people who maybe can't afford to be the sponsor, you know, like kind of your platinum, even golds, good, well-earning golds can do it, and above, but certainly your diamonds and above want to be saying yes. But for those who can't afford to be contributing that much each month, what's really beautiful is things like, you know, touching their lives with an aroma touch or a massage or whatever healing modality you do. They need self-care. So book them in at least once a month or once every 3 weeks to come to you and receive it. Now, they're going to feel they do not have time because their life is chaos. It's all really fast. They're traveling in, they're traveling out. But book something in for self-care. And even if that's a phone call where you're, you know, where you're inspiring them, delighting them, or send them videos. That's also really beautiful.
That's great.
Yes, that's right, Pip. So Pip's saying that last year the partner had to be on the account to be able to attend workshops to collect enrolments. Yes, that's right. So you can do that. You can add a co-applicant to your account, no problem at all. So what I was going to say was there are lots of ways for you to support, and even those, like we're supporting financially. Emma Knight, for instance, Blue Diamond will be supporting financially as well. Nolan John as Diamonds, Hayley Fleming, all of these people will. But in addition to that, what happens is they run out of their oils really fast, those 10 ml oils that come with the Empower Kit. So what I would ask you all is start using your points. Yeah, use your points that you've accumulated with your loyalty rewards program and start getting some citrus oils for them. Beautiful, inexpensive oils that delight everyone, you know, especially with those summer months. They're going into drinks, they're being used in diffusers to uplift and energize, and they're beautiful oils for the Diamond Club participants to be able to gift their enrollments on the night when they run out of those 5 ml oils. And yes, they'll be 15 mils, but it's so worth it, and it'll help your Diamond Clubber to really feel supported. The other thing we do is we help them with ongoing Empower Kits. They'll often run out. And if you've got Diamond Clubbers there that don't really have that much money yet, they're not earning that much yet, that's another really beautiful boost for them. So you can have that, you know, sent directly to them. They can come and collect from you. And again, it's not an overly huge investment, you know, on your part.
I think for us, one of the things that we've realised, having been a sponsor in Diamond Club for the last 2 years and had a good number of people go through the system and do so very successfully, is that we've come to understand that it's kind of like this is our big opportunity each year to invest in our business in a way that's beyond what we do every other month. So, you know, it really, you know, and for us, that ability to have those couple of people stay in Diamond Club, and I'm really talking about those extra things that you might spend money on, like the cleaner or whatever we did, that really does apply to probably diamonds and above. And we are here for that. You know, if you've got someone in your team and you're not a diamond yet, but you are sponsoring people, reach out to Vanessa and I and say, look, you know, I need help to keep this person going because we want to help them.
Yeah,
and we want to help you help them. But it is an opportunity where, for us, even investing more than just what our part of the travel reimbursement situation was such a huge investment, and it's paid off because we know that statistically 70% of the people that enroll today will be buying doTERRA products in 5 years' time.
Yeah.
So if you can invest in securing more long-term product users for your business by doing something like buying a few Empower Kits for $30 now, it's so worth it because the people that, and the energy that comes from the people who are doing Diamond Club gets the people that they enroll excited a lot more and a lot faster than what normally happens in the other months of the year. We've also got an idea, and I'd like to canvass this one with you, that we came up with. This would be probably specific to our own team, but I came up with the idea of doing a Diamond Club comeback tour in July or August. So June, everybody needs a break. They've had 4 months of it. They need a break, and I get that. But one of the things that we have seen is they're so out there so madly enrolling. We want to give them the opportunity to go back and touch those people with follow-up and help get them on LRP and maybe do a business training or something like that to help people get to that next level of depth with their business and with the people they've introduced over the last 4 months. And what we're looking at doing is piloting something and keeping some stats around it so we can take it to corporate and say this is really worth doing, provided that's what comes out to be the case. But we'd like to sponsor the cost of so continue the travel reimbursement situation for another month, and also to offer up an oil as the gift to the person who is enrolled during Diamond Club coming back to a follow-up class. Yeah. Or a gift for them to come back, plus a gift, an extra oil again if they go on LRP as a result of that follow-up class. So that kind of thing is something that we think would just solidify the effort that's been made by our Diamond Clubbers during Diamond Club, and doTERRA is good for sort of letting us know that if we want them to come on board with something, we've got to have our skin in the game. So we're prepared to do that and test this year and give it a really good shake and see what comes out of it. But I've got a sneaky feeling that the comeback tour for a month in where particularly I would want people to be really getting out there to those out of area places that they visited. Yeah. They should already be doing follow-up classes at home anyway where they live, but the areas that people get enrolled in and then get left behind is not a good idea unless we can get out there and service them and take care of them. So I'd love to see the support and I guess canvass your support for that idea. We want to do it, but obviously it's and we're prepared to wear the lion's share of the cost of the oils and the travel sponsorship. We just want to see whether you think it'll be worthwhile. So feel free to load your comments up now or ask questions or just come back to us during the week as to what you think about that.
And maybe for those that have done Diamond Club, if you think July or August would be the month. So, Noel and Pip and a few of the others that have done Diamond Club before, just let us know which month would be realistic, knowing how tired you'll wear after it.
Yeah, it may even be something that we as the leaders and sponsors could assist with, perhaps. I'm just thinking of an idea as I go here, but maybe go to some of these places with them, on the comeback tour and just support in that way so that they feel like there's a greater level of leadership. They get to meet some of the people in their upline. So for those that have come through Diamond Club and enrolled, maybe gone on LRP during Diamond Club, had a brief chat about sharing toward the end or just after Diamond Club, it'd be great for them to meet some of their upline support to give them confidence and instill that belief in them that this is a real opportunity for them if they want to take on the business side of it as well. So something for you guys to consider and come back that we want to trial it or even if we just select a bunch of people that want to give it a go and trial it out of all of our Diamond Club participants for this year. At this stage, it looks like we'll have well north of 50, and we're hoping for 80 plus. So
get everyone on board, guys.
Yeah, and the thing I think about it is that we want to. If we get onto them now, we have the opportunity to really sit with these people and talk with these people about how to plan out Diamond Club well. Emma's already set up a Zoom call for that for December, which is fantastic. doTERRA Corporate is doing a webinar, I think, this coming week.
Emma, can you see if you can find the link for that? I don't have internet connection on my phone right now.
So we'll get that out on the Empower for Business page anyway. But yeah, so that's something that's going to be coming up, and we want to just provide that support to them and make sure they understand that if they plan it out really, really well now, and have got their out of area places locked down. So if you're sponsoring someone in Diamond Club, you want to have them organise and have already picked their 2 or 3 out of area places they might be travelling to. Ideally, they want to be already looking now at which weeks of each month they're going to go to those places. Start educating them to look around if it's somewhere they've got to fly to. When they have these great flight deals on, like they've Jetstar just had a load of them and that kind of stuff, super cheap flights. So I think it was 149 one way to eastern states and free to fly home. So things like that are huge. Thanks, Emma, for that.
Thanks, Em.
That Zoom that's up there now in the comments for 19th of December at 7:30. But yeah, helping them to really plan this out. So for really for the 4 months before they start day one, they already know what they're doing. And I was having a mentor call around this today with someone and saying that one of the most dangerous things I think somebody can do towards their ability to successfully complete Diamond Club is to try and have a really low and light period of activity in December, or even now, November, December and January. The reason for that is that if you're starting all these out-of-area places from a cold start in February as the first time you've gone there to teach classes, if you don't get classes booked from that, it's a little bit hard to build the momentum through Diamond Club. But if you're doing a class now to try and get yourself your 5 out of area LRPs, you're going back in December to service that and doing some more classes. Really what should happen is that you're actually expanding the possibility of the number of classes that you're going to have to teach, because the pool of people that you can draw from and talk to and get on LRP and that can have great experiences with the oils over the next 2 to 3 months is much bigger if you start it now. So not doing it now in terms of, you know, going hell for leather now, but actually going into these areas and starting to do a class. Just one this month, maybe one in December, maybe one in January. So you've already had some touches and you've already started to build the momentum. So for those who've got out of area ones that they can reach reasonably easy, you know, in driving distance, say from their home, I would really encourage you to be having a class or two for those in November, December, January. So you can really build the momentum up. So we're not trying to come from a low baseline and go to this level of activity. In a week, we're going from here and we're just going to sort of spool it up over the next few months and get to the point where, you know, we've already got the momentum and it's pretty easy. So that's a powerful thing for you to talk to your teams about.
And as you do that, what will happen is in the end, when you say, who'd love for me to come and share these amazing oils with your loved ones and family and friends, as they put their hands up and book you in, you can have your calendar out and be booking them in. So when you're there for December, be booking some in for January, be booking some in for February, which is when it starts. Be really mindful to be coaching them on this, reminding them, because in the frenzy of Diamond Club, they forget about the basics, like who would like me to come and host a class, like who would love to share these oils with their friends and families. We're constantly looking for teachers. So if any of you feel you could be doing what I'm doing, we'd love to have you join us. Come have a chat to myself or the host Martha at the end of this, and we'd so happily show you. Show them also little tricks, like they've got to go every month to their out of area locations. So to bookend it. So how we've trained ours is to make sure that it, you know, as much as they can at the end of the month, and that end of the month, those end of the month events flow over into the beginning of the next month. So if they're flying, then they have these events here, and it's much easier also as far as time away from family. And each month you can be bookending and also be saving some time for a follow-up workshop or hour or so with them for those from the month before, and a little bit of training for anyone who's decided they want to share the oils and they want to help you as well, or they'd like to start earning as well. So as you know, coach them day to day on this, or week to week, and we would encourage a daily be on Messenger with them, certainly in the beginning. As you coach them, remind them of these basics, the stuff that they would be doing anyway can somehow get lost with Diamond Club. And I saw Yura was saying, you know, that the follow-up is so important. And it really is. This is where they will magnify the impact that they make, and they'll leave a lasting and really positive impression. Diamond Club picks up this energy of speed, and that energy can either be really frenetic, or you can stay quite still internally with it. Now, most people would say, how can you stay still somehow in this? Okay, there is a time where you will just find yourself caught up in it. But as a sponsor, help them to come back to some stillness, And I know some of you on this that are planning to be sponsors this time round. Some of you are doing Diamond Club as well as sponsoring, and I take my hat off to you. Make sure you have someone you can go to as well, you know, just to call, to offload, to message and release the stuff that maybe didn't go well, or to celebrate your successes with, as well as you're supporting people in your tree.
So that idea of booking classes from classes is really critical. But when you're doing out of area events, this is why you need to have had your 3 or 4 months worth of times scheduled as to when you're going to these places. So when you're at a class and someone says, yes, I'd like to have the class with my friends, you can say, great, I'm coming back here next month on the 22nd to the 25th. Kick a day in there and get these things locked away, you know, early. But if you go, look, I think I'm coming back, I'm not sure when I'm coming back, I'll try and get to you next week, and it's a busy period, and you get home and you've got wife on as well as 3 more classes at home, you can lose that opportunity, because their life gets in the way as well then. But if it's booked in down there, they're much less likely to not follow through with it.
And also there's that inherent respect that's built as well, you know, that you're making the time, that you're staying true to your word, that you actually are going to support them, connect with them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be here for you means I'm actually going to be here for you. So what we would also encourage, a lot of people say, so do I even need to go to my out of area, chosen out of area every month? So say someone's chosen Geelong in Victoria, say someone else has chosen Broome here, or someone else has chosen, you know, York or Northam or something. You know, my sense is the more time you can spend with those, the deeper your connections will grow. So I really wouldn't be encouraging 10 different out of areas over the course of Diamond Club. I really feel John and Noel in particular did this really well. Kira was another one. There were a few that stand out. They've done it a couple of years now, but what they did was they had their out of areas that they would go to consistently, and they had the dates set so that people were expecting them to come back, and the dates were set and booked in. Now, what also happens is it generates this beautiful momentum with the hostess. So everything we do duplicates, right? So she will start to, or he will duplicate that as well. So what duplicates is integrity, is respect, is that you're true to your word and you respect your own time, right? They come to respect it too. So Paul's thing of, okay, I'm going to be here between the 15th and the 20th of next month. Do you prefer, I simply say to people, do you prefer morning or evening, right? A daytime while the kids are at school, or an evening time, right? And Paul does exactly the same. And even when they are doing Diamond Club and they're feeling like everything's too much and they're in there up to their eyeballs, you can help lessen the load by doing things like, would you like me to connect with your hostess to ensure that she's inviting properly? Does she need help with how to invite? Does she need some support now with how to share, maybe how to sample before you come for your out-of-area event? So these are ways that you as supporters and sponsors can really be there for that groundwork to help your Diamond Clubbers. Because if you've never been involved in Diamond Club before, there's one thing we can tell you, and it's constant. The momentum picks up, and like an avalanche of love just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it just, and they get on this road, this path with it, right? And that's what I was talking about, that frenetic energy that can pick up. That's where beautiful gifts like, you know, body work, aroma touch, any healing modalities, something to help bring them back. If I come back to that for a minute, that's why this is so important. Rather than be frenetic and in this sympathetic overdrive where they're just bam, 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 flight or fight, help them to bring them back into their stillness, back into their parasympathetic system, which is what we need to sleep and rest. Remind them of oils to take, remind them to take their serenity, gift it to them, you know, so they're traveling around with their serenity capsules. Make a beautiful sleep blend for them, yeah? Come to know what they need. Make some beautiful roller balls that they can gift their children and say, when mama's gone, you can have these roller bottles and this is our connection together. You know, organise maybe, again, for those that can't afford to be Diamond Club sponsors, the lower ranks, what you could do is encourage those people on your team to be babysitters. They can babysit their children for the husband and wife to go out for their date night. Or maybe it's to help someone be able to run an evening class on a Wednesday night. Let's say hubby works late then, or is FIFO and he's not there, and she can be doing a workshop that night. So offer every second Wednesday, I can look after your children between 6 p.m. and 9:30 or 10 o'clock, whatever it is. I'll sort dinner out. I'll do everything. You just go and do your workshop and come back. Can you see how that would really lessen the load for them? So we had a few of the girls doing this as well. They kind of felt like they couldn't afford Diamond Club sponsorship coming out of their pay because they weren't making enough, but they help with babysitting and bodywork, healing modalities, spending time with the kids, helping to create samples. So this is another thing that that you can do for the pre-qualifying time, and also January when they're planning. The planning isn't just planning your flights, your accommodation, talking to your hostess and getting everything going. Planning is also creating samples. So what you can all do is have like an oily working bee, and you all come together and you make samples of bottles for them to be able to distribute. Another thing that you can do on your little working beat is to get together and maybe make some food, or some of you can just make food and, you know, deliver it in little containers so that they can freeze it and label it based on whatever their needs are. So find out if they're gluten-free and, you know, this free and veggie or meat-based or whatever it might be. Have meals ready. What do your kids love to eat? And that will make the journey a lot simpler for them as well. Yeah. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the other things that I was just having a quick workout to give you guys some idea on whether or not this investment is worth it. So if you had, say, 5 people doing Diamond Club that you were sponsoring, and they all completed Diamond Club with the minimum number of enrolments of 18 per month, you're going to have 360 new people join your team in this period of the Diamond Club. So that's your minimum of if you have those 5 people doing it. Now, we know that typically something like 60 to 70% of people are on LRP, given, you know, there's a little bit of variance depending on how active the people are as far as following up and doing follow-up classes and wellness consults and those kind of things. But that means another sort of 235 to 250 people in your team on LRP.
Yeah.
We also know that 13% of enrolments end up sharing and enrolling other people. So if you had 5 people you'd sponsored and you had those 360 odd enrolments, that's 47 new sharers potentially that you're going to have in your business at the end of Diamond Club. Now, for me, that's exciting because I think to myself, wow, that's the one thing that we want. You know, we want more people active and interested in sharing in this business and showing up to do what we do. Now, if I've got someone that's kind of halfway interested in doing Diamond Club, I want to encourage them to do it, and I want to tell them I'm going to give them all the support to do it, because the one thing that we all want, we all say that we need more of, is people doing what we're doing. More people sharing, more people teaching classes, more people taking some of the load. And when you've got someone showing up in front of you, if they're not completely planned or completely sure or completely confident that they're going to be able to do it, I would say give them confidence, inspire them, give them every chance to believe in themselves, because this sustained period of activity, no one's going to make them do that throughout the rest of the year. If they go and have a great month and they get 12 or 15 new enrolments into their team, they're going to say, well, that was good. It was a good result. But if they need 18, they're not going to stop with 3 or 4 days to go. They're going to find those extra 3 or 4 or 5 enrolments. And if they times that by 4 months, that's going to be an extra 20 or 30 people in their team. An extra 5, 6 sharers that they're going to have on average come out of that at the end of the day by doing that extra bit, by being accountable to something where there's a minimum target involved. So when I look at if we're going to sponsor, half a dozen people, this was true for us in the first year. We sponsored 6. And we had a lot more than the minimum of 18 as an average. It was nearly double that. So we had, something like 100 sharers show up in the several months following Diamond Club that started to share. And that was the catalyst that drove us on through past Diamond to Blue and on to Presidential Diamond. So if you're looking for more sharers in your team and you want to grow that, then this is the number one thing that you could get behind and invest in. So if it's buying extra Empower kits, and if it's doing whatever it takes to keep that odd person who's looking like they might fall out of Diamond Club in Diamond Club, it's money well spent, because if 70% of them are going on to LRP or thereabouts, then you're going to get that investment back very, very soon in payment on your uni levels anyway. A lot of the people doing Diamond Club, you'll be getting some fast start on, but if it's not that, your uni level commission is going to come in very soon and help you cover all that. So it doesn't take long until you've had your money back, but those people buy for years, 70% buying in 5 years still. So it tells us that this is a really worthwhile thing for us to be doing, which is why we're so excited about supporting as many as we possibly can.
Absolutely. So yours just written, maybe a dedicated Diamond Club LRP belief training might be a good idea to land their ability to get a higher LRP hit rate. So Emma has a Zoom training on LRP. Yep, share it, Emma, and we can get everyone on. What was I about to say there with... Okay, so something else you can do to really support, which I did while Tanya Maidmont was doing Diamond Club, in the first year that I started sharing the oils. Emma was on board with me on this and remembers it well, is I was putting on loads of classes, but I was doing loads of follow-up classes as well. to help those that were already enrolled to then jump on the Yummy LRP train. So I did loads of those. So that's another way that you as sponsors and supporters can be supporting your Diamond Clubbers as well. This will take the load off hugely for them so that they can keep enrolling, and you can support, do ongoing support in your local area for them, yeah, and open it up to all of those. Please, please, please remind your Diamond Clubbers to stay in love. This is probably the greatest message we can give you. As soon as they contract and move into fear, several things start happening. One, they stop enrolling because their energy becomes like this Klingon, okay, and anyone can feel it a mile away. The second thing that happens is their hostesses start bailing on them. People stop turning up to events. People are repelled by them generally. And they're repelled by themselves, so they start to spiral down energetically and emotionally. So to help keep them expanded and elevated, remind them that there are so many people to touch, okay? There's no such thing as saturation. At this point, saturation does not exist. The more enrollments that they continue to place through their portal, the higher momentum they will generate energetically. Now, to generate that momentum with enrollments, they need to stay in their heart with an expanded heart, okay? So it's about bringing them back to their why, their passions, their big picture dreams. Why are you doing this, sweetheart? Let's sit down and let's just stop thinking about enrollments for a minute, and let's come back to why you're here, why you chose doTERRA, and then take them to the next level. Okay, so from why doTERRA, what do you love so much about touching people with these oils with? And then why did you choose Diamond Club? What is it that you're dreaming about with Diamond Club? And for a lot of them, it's so beyond them. It's that they want to see their tree of love grow and prosper. They want to see their active sharers that are dreaming about stepping into leadership to be able to do that. So reconnect with them, and beautiful ways to do it for them and their tree also to help alleviate despondency or that feeling of, it's too much, it's too busy, I'm exhausted, I can't do this anymore, is to get on a call with them and with others in their tree of love, right? And do something beautiful and inspirational, something gorgeous with them, right? They're not necessarily going to have the time to come out to you and be touched that way. That's why I'm saying factor in self-care stuff. But for this stuff, you know, elevate them in other ways. So do calls like this where they can see your face, you know, on Zoom and stuff. Hold something like this, a forum maybe for their tree, so that if their tree are feeling like, oh my God, you know, I'm never seeing Pip anymore because Pip's so busy, and we knew Diamond Club was going to be busy, but we really miss her. So step in and say, you know, Pip loves you so much, all right? And we're here to support you while Pip's running around, helping to fulfill her dreams and yours, touching as many lives as she can with these essential oils. So how can I serve you, right? So these are ways that you can really support that a lot of people don't think about, yeah? Those that are enrolled need to continually be touched and supported. They're human. Right? So stay true to the promise that we all give them, that we are all here to support everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we've got that much else that we want to cover off, apart from just remember that a lot of these people who are committing to doing Diamond Club, particularly if it's their first time, they might be just getting to Premier for the first time, or if they're a new silver. They may not know everything they need to know to be truly successful in this business just yet. So your input to help them learn how to do a wellness consult, how to do a great follow-up class, how to coach the host. You know, if the host is someone putting their hand up to say, yes, I'll have a class for you, do they know how to communicate with the host and say, okay, this is how we invite, this is what we tell people, this is what they're coming to.
Yeah.
You know, then we follow up to remind them a few days out. And these are the kind of things we have at the event, so it's ready to go, and those kind of things. Just some simple practical tools so that they can get the best out of their Diamond Club experience and do it with a little bit more ease, rather than sort of running around, running off to classes where they think there's a load of people coming and there's one or two there. where they could spend their time better, or could they have coached that host a little better to encourage her to continue to invite a few more people? Maybe one of the things that we need to do is look at the hostess gift and those kind of things, to make sure that's something that's really being helped with, particularly for these newer people at the beginning end, where they don't have the abundance that we might have, where we could actually say, here's some host gifts for you. So you can use this to encourage people to host a class, or to host you again when you come back for the second time, where they'll re-invite, find out what kind of an oil they'd like, find out what they'd love, find out what product sings to them, and come to your uplines and ask for some support, because we really want to up our level of support even to a new, lift our game again this year, because we saw what it's done for us in the last couple of years and for all of our teams. And if you look at the rank advancements that happen throughout your teams, February to May is a massive period of that. It's really huge. So it's something that we really wanted to get behind this year in a different way and get out in front of it a little bit earlier, and let everybody know that it's something that we can all pull together and do really, really well this time around.
And something I was going to say was, if you get on our YouTube channel, which is Food Alchemy with Vanessa Jean, we have a lot of videos up there with that Tracy's been downloading from trainings and stuff we're doing. So I really encourage you to please start sharing those on your teams, your Facebook groups, emailing it out to people who aren't on those, whatever it is, and get them watching it, so that they have that ongoing support. A lot of things that people are finding really inspirational is just my little musings. Didn't think that was going to happen, but maybe you could all be doing your own version of that as well during Diamond Club, in your own little way. So sending them a little video of you loving all over them, right? So that's something else that's cute and quirky that that you can do with them. So Emma's asking if we'd consider doing Zoom trainings. Absolutely. So what I was thinking was that we can do different Zoom trainings themed each week. So if you guys have any topics in particular that you feel you need extra support with, just send us a message to, it's probably easier, just send it to me and I'll start recording them, writing them down. And then we can create some Zoom calls, and maybe just do half-hour calls, each week, something like that, to cover your questions. And
they may not need to be weekly, but I mean, it's just whatever you need. If you need it from us, I tell everybody this, and it's something that you should remind yourself of, and hopefully you feel this way for your team, and we'd like to remind them of it as well. But we are a resource to your business, not the other way around. We're here to help you. So if there's something that we can give, something we can do more of, get in touch and say, hey, I've got this idea. Let's do this. My team needs that.
Yeah.
We'd love to be doing that kind of thing, because really it's what we're here for, and we love doing it. And, we've had a reasonable degree of success up until this stage, and we've refined a lot of our skill set and tool set training to the point now where it's really working tremendously well, not just in our team but across other teams that we teach and train for. And the results are there. That so let's leverage that in a format that can reach more people, for sure.
Absolutely. Okay, so does anyone have any questions? Can you quickly type them now, or any comments, any feedback, anything you need further clarification on? Have we missed anything? Do you feel confident now in stepping forward into your support and sponsorship of these people? Hopefully you've understood that the financial side of it is simply one small element. Just to clarify on that, doTERRA will, for those that are physically putting their hand up to be one of the 3 sponsors for the Diamond Club participant, doTERRA actually will take that out. It's paid monthly. They will take that out before they pop that into your account, or your ProPay card, if that's where your money is coming to. Please, please, please help your Diamond Clubbers to be super organised. They need to keep a track of everything they're doing. They will get all that in their pack from doTERRA, but that's one of the things that often overwhelms them at the end of the month.
Yeah, it's something that you can actually encourage them to have someone to help them with this part of it. So the admin side of doing things like putting the enrolments through the portal, or through just keeping the receipts and the spreadsheet straight, ready to be sent off on the 1st of the month for your reimbursements. Because there were some people who just didn't get to it, tried to do it late, and getting reimbursed was a problem. So, maybe part of the planning is that having a friend, a mum, a husband, or whatever it is, if you've got a teenage kid, someone that's just going to help keep the expense spreadsheet straight and ready to go.
Absolutely.
So, first of the month is just send that off, please, and let's go.
Okay, so I'm seeing all the questions. One from Holly is, has there been anyone that has actually done Diamond Club as well as sponsored others? Holly, that's a good question, sweetheart. So anyone who's done that, can you indicate and get in touch with Holly? We never formally did Diamond Club. We just haven't stopped since I enrolled 3 years ago. Do you have a date for your next business training in Perth for next year at all? Not yet, Pip, but it's coming.
February will be the earliest. We're actually away for January, so we're looking probably it'll be February.
Yeah. Keep scrolling down. I went through those ones. Some training on planning would be great. Okay, so Noel Blanchard, I'm going to message you after this. I would love to have Noel maybe next week if you'd all like to do a Zoom. Is everyone open to a chat on planning? Noel was absolutely brilliant. Him and John did a very successful Diamond Club. Noel and John and Mish almost finished first. They were going neck and neck consistently for first throughout the whole of Diamond Club. So their planning was phenomenal.
Planning specific to Diamond Club, Em, or just planning in general? So maybe if you can let us know on that one.
I just thought I'll unmute myself. I hate typing when I can
speak.
I'm a talker. Just the general how to plan the 4 months. People get really stuck on that. I'm terrible at that. I sort of book my following few weeks, and then I forget what I'm doing until the day before I'm doing it. So just general stuff, how to plan that far in advance, how to start getting workshops to book in for those days, how to get workshops when you've got blank days and you don't feel like you've got anything to fill them. So, just all over, how do we get through this?
Yeah.
So, all right, well, that's cool. Well, that's something that we want to do maybe before the 19th of December then, because that's going to be a little far away for some of the people to begin their planning. So certainly we want to do that in the next week or two.
So next week, I think.
What we need to do, I think, is spend this next week or so encouraging people and finding out really who in our teams are doing Diamond Club. So if we could get that settled over the next week or so, maybe it's not next week, it's the week after that we do the next one. So it gives us say 2 weeks to really get everybody lined up and all our ducks in a line, and then come the end of November or nearing the end of November, so what would that be, coming 27th of November, something like that, where we can get everyone together again that's wanting to do Diamond Club as participants, not just as sponsors, and we can map out some planning. In the meantime, I can already think that I'd love to get together with the likes of Noel and John. Kirsten did Diamond Club very successfully without stress. She was extremely well planned. So maybe we could get her onto that to actually present a little bit on the next Zoom call as well.
Yeah.
Map out, Vanessa and I can map out the kind of things that we have helped people with as far as planning their Diamond Club journey successfully. And anybody else that participate?
Yeah. We're happy to help and put out, to help with the planning things that we did. Excel is my best friend, so I'm happy to share the spreadsheets as well that we use to make all of the data recording as well really easy. The only thing I would say is, whilst what you're saying is great with planning, with getting people the planning from now to keep that momentum going through, but we caught up in the planning for the whole 4 months too soon, because it may freak some people out and also make them too focused on that and not focused on either their qualifications now. So we're trying to keep that qualification focus as well.
That's a great point, Noel. And maybe in that call, you can talk a bit about that as well, Noel, and look at, this planning, but the planning is great for their qualification month anyway, but also just say this is the big picture of what's to come. And a reminder, guys, something as their support team and cheerleading squad is you want to be reminding them that we're dynamic. Everything changes, so even the best made plans can sometimes be kind of to go to something better, and they don't see that it's going to serve them more. But that happens as well. But if we can help them as much as possible, let's do it.
What we're mindful of is just not having people start the Diamond Club journey with no plan.
Yeah.
Because that's where the stress comes from. Because they I see your message there. Plan for roadblocks. Absolutely. But it really, we do need to be flexible. We do need to be prepared to change it. But even if they had just the first couple of months out of area events planned and where they were going to be going and what they think they're going to be doing, and have already spoken to some of those hosts and lined up some dates and those kind of things, because people get stressed about time management and those kind of things when they don't have any management in place at all. And a lot of people are worried, I find, about their spontaneity in life is going to disappear if they have everything planned out. And what we found with all the mentoring and teaching that we've done is that when people plan things out really, really well for the next, even just in their normal day-to-day, their business, forget about Diamond Club. If they've got their next just 3 to 6 months, all the big ticket items planned out as to, conventions then and leaderships then, and in the middle of that I've got to go to do some classes down in Geraldton and Broome, and I've got something to do in Albany, get all these things sort of lined up, and then each week I do a mentor call with this person, and on these days I like to do my classes and those kind of things. What happens and what people tend to find is they end up with a lot of space left after they've planned those things in, which allows them to have spontaneity and also be present with their spontaneity, to really enjoy what it is that they're choosing to do that day off the cuff, because they're not worried that they haven't got the rest of things taken care of. They're not thinking, oh my God, I'm at the zoo with my kids and I've got this day of myself and I'm here, but you know what, I've got no idea when my classes are next month and I haven't planned this, and I haven't even booked my tickets for this, and I haven't got my flights, and the stress that comes from not having anything at all in the diary is mega. So that's what we want to avoid for these people.
Yeah. So the idea that
planning a business out.
The idea that planning brings freedom. Yeah.
It truly does.
Yeah. Joe, what does yours say? What is it with you? Oh, absolutely, Joe. Yeah. So I think what you're saying there is do we let our tree know? Absolutely. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier. You want them to know that, that you're doing Diamond Club, that there's going to be incredible momentum, the gifts it's going to bring for them and their budding business, because a lot of them, they're just at their little seedling stage or tiny little buds, not quite opened up yet into the big flower that they are. So absolutely get them on board and have them journeying this with you as much as you can. And what will also happen with you going back to the same place, having them go back to the same place as the Diamond Clubbers, is that the hostesses become used to hearing it, and guess what? By month 3 or 4, they can be doing the classes themselves, and you're just there present for the event. That's what you can remind your Diamond Clubbers, because they're exhausted. Come month 3, they're like whacked, totally feeling very depleted. So a good thing for them is to be going back to the same places so that those hostesses can step into their power and feel empowered to be just teaching their classes and enrolling people as well. And after Diamond Club finishes, the momentum can keep going with this. Yeah. So don't remind them, for them not to feel they have to be teaching all the classes. They can just be there.
One of the best things that we can do for in Diamond Club and use Diamond Club for is that a lot of people who are potential sharers are unearthed and uncovered through the Diamond Club journey. So what I mean by that is that this is a great opportunity for the Diamond Club participants to ask their potential active sharers or the people that are on RP for help. I'm doing this Diamond Club thing and I need some help. Because it's amazing what people will do to help someone else, but are not interested in doing it for themselves, for profit for themselves, or for to do a business for themselves or anything like that. But I'll help my friend Jenny. No worries, Jen. Whatever you need, you let me know. And you need a class? Okay, I'll invite everyone over. Let's have a class. And it earths sharers out of that because they had a great experience, and then they go, you know what? My friends all want another class. They want to bring people. Can we have another one? So. That's a great thing to be doing. Anyone that's already sharing in your teams for the Diamond Club participants, they want to be reaching out to them now and actually saying, hey, you started sharing a little bit, and I know you wanted to get your oils for free at least. We could speed up getting to that because doTERRA's got this thing on where they give me a load of free oils to give away for those that are hosting classes, and it's going to be on between February and May. I'm going to have all these oils to be able to help you out, and so we can really build your team quite quickly and get you to the point where you're getting your oils for free and maybe even earning some part-time extra income. Would you love to do that? Yeah, I'd love to. What does it involve? Okay, well, we just need to put a couple of classes in. I'll come teach them, and the participants can get these these freebies. So it's going to be able to be a nice, easy way for us to get people excited about getting started.
So I've just written there, does anyone have any other questions or requests before we finish?
Sorry.
Yeah. Go.
Sorry, Vanessa, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just had a look in the calendar. I thought we might as well get the monthly support calls booked in now. So they're in the calendar and we know when they're coming up. So should we keep going on the Sunday? That's what I thought, because it seems to be a good time for us all to get together. Yeah. So I've just looked, 22nd of January, the 19th of February, 26th of March. I'm trying to aim in the third week. March is a bit hard because we got convention, so that's actually the second last weekend. April 23rd and May 21st.
Okay, so Diamond Clubbers, people here that have done Diamond Club in the past, Em's thinking on that was when they're feeling really low in energy, energetically and physically, that third week having the call for them may be the very thing to help rev them up. How do you all feel about that? Logistics of that. So just before we set those in stone, and when Paul and I are away, Emma's happy to lead these calls. Karen Miller's also put her hand up to help as well. So yeah, we'll have lots of support there.
I just thought it'd be great to get some. I mean, I've never done Diamond Club, so I'll just be there to host a call. But it'd be great to have some ex-Diamond Clubbers on just to do a Q&A even. Say, help, I'm having these problems, what can I do? Just the leaders who are there saying, you're amazing, don't forget that, we're here for you, we love you. So, it's such a powerful tool.
I love it, Emma. I think we should do it. I think let's just put the dates out there, and those that can get on it will come on it. There'll be ones that are too busy, they've got a class on, they're travelling, whatever, so we won't capture all the people all the time. But we need to create this place and this space where they can get that support. Hopefully some of the current Diamond Club participants would be able to share some of their learnings and what might have been a great way for them to be able to book a class from a class, or what they just did in one of their out of area events. So I think it's got a lot of value. It's got more value to do it than not.
Okay, so just looking at the feedback, would the second week of the month rather than the third be better, pet team? So I did Demo Club third week was fine. Okay. So Joe, when you say I know the third week was when I was struggling, do you mean so having a call then would be good? Because that's what Emma was really feeling. Okay, yes. Okay. All right. Well, like Noel said, the third of anyone who can't do it, they'll listen to the recording. So that's true. That's great. And I think Yura was saying not to keep it too close to the month's end. All right, so here are the dates. Emma's putting them up. Corporate do weekly calls as well for everyone doing Diamond Club. This will be very specific to the way that we have, duplicated coaching people, and that's bringing them back into their heart, coming into expansion, coming into an expanded state, elevating them again, helping to dissolve that which no longer serves them. So people who have done Diamond Club before are great on this. Having your diamond and above leaders on this to really, really hold space for them. It's one of the things that we do as sponsors is hold incredible space for our Diamond Clubbers. Yeah, you're just there holding them all the time for the whole 4 months. We are flat out doing workshops as well during Diamond Clubs. So what I would say to you as their supporters is just keep doing workshops. Holly, for someone like you, doing Diamond Club while your team is as well, reach out to us, to Kira, you know, to SK as well, to Sarah Kate, who will be there, and they can help also with supporting your girls with classes as well while you're doing your out of area and running around, and you know, you've got lots of children and lots going on in your house. So remember, for you as well, for those of you that are doing Diamond Club Plus sponsoring or supporting, you need to keep all that in mind and use your uplines to help support. Okay, all right, so it looks like we've decided for the 3rd week of the month, if only a few people can get on, that's fine, and they can watch the playback anyway. And the idea for the March one, maybe to do mid or even earlier than mid, because we start all of the workshops mid-March.
Yeah,
they'll be starting from the 13th.
And they'll be on the East Coast for you know, getting ready for convention and things like that.
Yep.
Yeah, look, I'm excited, guys. I mean, you know, corporate does do it. They're going to have someone running Diamond Club, but they're going to have that person doing it from the US, although they will be working through the night there, so they'll be available our time. But the reason that we've decided to, I guess, take this to a new level, and part of it was, you know, some of the ideas were things we wanted to do, and the rest of it was really at the request of our team, particularly Emma, is because corporate doesn't have the same vested interest in our people like you and I do. Like we do. We know our people. We know what makes them tick. We know how to pick them up when they're down. You know, and as much as they do a great job at head office, they're never going to be able to do that when someone's having a bad result from a class or something like that. They're not going to be able to give the feedback because they haven't had the field experience that all you guys have had. So that's why it's critical that we, as their field leadership, are actually there to support them through this, not just the Terra employees who are there to run Diamond Club.
And if any of these clash with when some of the leaders are away, like Fiji incentive trips or, you know, whatever convention, there'll be someone else not there that can help take these calls as well. So, you know, delegating is good. And then the other thing that we have going for those on our Tree of Love, just to remind you, is during May we have Amazing May, and that gives them a massive lift in May as well. It really lifts their spirits. You know, we give away oil sharing kits and, you know, oils every day and every week, grand prizes and first and second, third prizes. So that's a massive way for us to support as well. Okay, a golden club dinner in Goldie. Amazing May. Yeah, so SK's writing Amazing May got her to premiere. A lot of people ranked with Amazing May. It's a big help.
So we tried to do, to Holly, we actually tried to do some catch-up events and just a Friday night sort of drinks and things during Diamond Club, and there wasn't much support for it. It was just too busy to be able to do, and even with trying to get things organised at convention, we found a nightmare trying to find venues to host enough people because you know, we're going to have a big team doing Diamond Club. But look, what we will want to do is have a celebration for those who successfully complete it and participate in it at the completion. So we'll probably aim to have something at ours in May or June. I guess it'll be June, July, and that's May. What we could do is actually have a DC comeback to a launch party, which will be recognising everyone that's done Diamond Club, and also to pump up and give them the ideas for what we want to do with the comeback tour.
So before we finish, please remind your beautiful Diamond Clubbers that it doesn't have to be a competition for them. They only need to embark on this journey with an open heart, with view to fulfilling their wildest dreams and their why, and living it and materializing it. This will help take a lot of the pressure off. Not everyone's competitive. Those that are, it really works for. Maybe some are internally competitive. They want to set their own goals and compete with themselves. That's fine too. So find out what motivates them, what they're passionate about, what they truly, madly, deeply love in life, so that you can coach them through those 4 months of Diamond Club and the preliminary months leading up to it.
So we'll see you guys all in 2 weeks at this same time, same channel.
Yes.
Where we will hopefully have a lot of people to talk to. So we want to get all our participants on that call. So let's spend this next week or two seeking not only to be inspired, but to be inspiring, and to get out there and find a lot of people on our teams that want to do Diamond Club. We're a yes to sponsor everybody in your team. So we've had a lot of people ringing up this or messaging us this week saying, will you sponsor me, will you sponsor me? The answer is, if you're in our team, yes. What we really love to have is 2 or 3 sponsors for everybody, so that everyone's got 2 or 3 places to go for some support.
Yeah.
Because it's tough for just one person to look after everybody. And
so that you all know, Tanya Maidmont is our direct upline. Most of you would know. She's our beautiful diamond leader, and her and Mike are travelling around with their children. She has also already said that she is more than willing to help with sponsorship as well. So let's say Emma Knight may be the first diamond leader as a blue diamond, and then it's Paul and I. The next one up is Tanya Maidmont.
We see Noel and John have already got 10 striving for it, and we're working to qualify, so that's awesome.
Right,
so,
awesome.
You know, guys, really, for you as sponsors, I just cannot tell you, and some of you this will be the first time sponsoring, I can't explain to you enough or deeply enough how excited you're going to be having people doing Diamond Club in your team, particularly if you've got 3 or 4 or 5, like a little team of them, because your volume between February and May is going to explode. So you are going to have, solidification of legs and your own rank, and possibly growing to your own next rank that you're aiming for during Diamond Club by supporting all these people. So go out there and drum up the interest and get them really pumped up on your own pages.
Absolutely.
And let's get them all back on a call here for next 2 weeks from now. And in that time, we'll probably be organising the Zoom capability for a lot more people to join us than just the 50.
Yep. So that's a pleasure, Joe. Anytime, sweetheart. Yep, we love you, honey. So thank you, everyone, for being on the call. Thanks to Em for setting up these Zoom calls for us. We love you. Thank you, everyone. Have heaps of fun encouraging your tree to get on the Diamond Club bandwagon. It's heaps of fun as well as loads of work, right? So if you're going to do the work anyway, you may as well have fun and have all of these amazing cheerleaders behind you. We love you all. Namaste. Have a beautiful night.
Thanks, everybody.